Hello and happy Monday from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. Is it getting kind of musky everywhere? Let's consider this. Okay, so first, Elon Musk accuses selected journalists of endangering his life and that of his family by disclosing his location. Then he discloses his location by releasing photos of himself and Jared Kushner and some other folks at the World Cup final in Qatar. Then, of course, earlier, Musk had fired half of the company at Twitter, and then he demanded that everybody else show total commitment, sleep at your desk, sleep in the hallways, bring your own food. Okay, total commitment. Now he says that if the results of a poll indicate that he should step down at Twitter, he will do so. Well, guess what? Just a few minutes ago, the results of that poll were released. And the people have spoken. And they said, get your stuff and get out of here. So now it's your move, genius. Can you just smell the fear coming off this guy? It's like every coward, it's like every bully, it's like every narcissist. He's scared to death of losing everything, and now he's looking for other people to bail him out. So attention cultists, whatever you do, don't ever again portray this guy as a champion of free speech. He doesn't have any idea what that means under our system, and by the way, neither do you. Don't call him a business genius. He's about to lose everything. And more than anything else, don't forget that this guy has been totally exposed as a businessman. Is there a pattern here? Who is it starting to remind you of? Which brings us to Criminal Referral Monday. Conspiracy to defraud the government. Check. Obstruction of an official process. Check. And insurrection has a nice ring to it also, in my opinion. And let me tell you straight up, no apology. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this. Because I take a dim view of people who try to overthrow our government, and the evidence is overwhelming. It is conclusive. Not that any of you cultists believe in even the concept of evidence. All right. So much football. So the Giants did for the Cowboys on Sunday night what the Cowboys could not do for themselves on Sunday afternoon. So Dallas is in the playoffs, consecutive years, and that's for the first time since 2006, 2007. So yeah, that's significant, but it is hardly cause for celebration right now because there are problems. And no amount of walking through the graveyard or whistling through the graveyard, we do boys, we sell more jerseys. There are problems here, folks. They blew a 17-point lead to Jacksonville. Not that Jacksonville's a bad team, but you were up 14-0, 21-7, and 27-10 and managed to lose that one. And their problems. More injuries, more missed assignments, more boneheaded, non-game and clock management by the coaching staff. My God, do you realize there was a stretch there when you could have forced Jacksonville to take all three of their timeouts? Done. Fini. But instead, you inexplicably jack a low percentage ball deep that predictably falls incomplete. They hang on to a timeout, and you saw how significant that proved to be. And this is not a one-off. This stuff happens all the time. Clearly, the Cowboys don't respond well to pressure. Well, here's the good news. The pressure's off. This big game against the Eagles coming up on Christmas Eve, it's now completely insignificant. It's the equivalent of an August preseason game because it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. And by the way, whoever wins this game on Christmas Eve, don't read anything into that should they meet for a third time in the playoffs, because both teams will know that means nothing at all. So we got 3 weeks left, and we're kind of locked in. Dallas is in the playoffs. They're going to be the 5th seed, and almost certainly they're going to play at Tampa Bay in the first round. Now, I know Brady stunk it up in the second half yesterday against Cincinnati, but I also know that Tom Brady has never lost to the Cowboys. So there's going to be some pressure there, and the pressure will not be on Brady. So another heroic loss by the Texans. But were you surprised? Did you ever think they were really going to pull that off? Even after they got it to OT, defense gets a quick stop in OT, they get the ball back on a punt. All you got to do is kick a field goal, and you upset the KC Chiefs. So when Davis Mills fumbled that ball, were you surprised? I wasn't. And when the Chiefs scored on the very next play on a running play to end the game, were you surprised? I wasn't. Now, I'll tell you what did surprise me, shocked me. I've never seen anything like this. The end of the game between the Patriots and the Raiders? Huh? That may have been the most bonehead sequence ever. And keep in mind, this is the Patriots? This is the situational football Patriots? These are the hoodie Patriots? And they do that. Hey, if there was going to be a game between the Raiders and the Patriots to end that way, wouldn't you figure that would have been the Raider-esque thing to do? I mean, unbelievable. Last play of the game, it's tied. Patriots, you got the ball, you got overtime in your back pocket, but instead you resort to this playground, keep it alive lateral thing that gets intercepted, and you lose, and it may knock you out of the playoffs. I was amazed that the hoodie's head didn't come off. But all I'm going to ask is this. I'm going to look at my bracelet. WWJJD. What would Jimmy Johnson do? That dude be already gone. I hope I can laugh at this at some point, and I'll get there, but not yet. I am older than several mountain ranges, and from a fan's perspective, that was the worst football weekend of my life. UIW loses, UTSA loses, Bernie loses, Wimberley loses, Poth loses, my Rice House lose, Cowboys lose, Texans lose. Man, so I'm just trying to take advantage of this, I'm trying to put it in perspective, maybe make a little money. So I just completed writing a little golden children's book, and it's entitled The Most No-Goodest, Messed Up, Jacked Up, effed up, stinkiest, break my heart, make me want to hurl weekend in the history of my life. What do you think? Is it marketable? Finally, what did I think about the World Cup? I thought it was great. I thought it was magnificent. I thought it was some of the best competition I've ever seen. What the hell did you think I was going to say? We're radically rational.